Good afternoon, Year 8. This week we're going to look at something called the Data Protection Act. Not much more to say than that really about the name of it. What is the Data Protection Act? It is increasingly common, this is a bit of a description rather than definition, increasingly common for personal details to be stored on computers or computing devices, not just a laptop or a desktop. It could be or will be your mobile phone, your PlayStation, your iPad, devices like that, maybe even in your car, the device it's connected to. The Data Protection Act exists to protect such details. This personal data includes items such as name and address, date of birth, medical records, school and employment records, and your religion. Personal data is private and should only be accessible by authorised people. Also, digital files stored on computers can be easy to access, copy and share. Protection is needed to make sure that our personal data is kept private and not altered or deleted by people who don't have access. The Data Protection Act exists to ensure our data is properly looked after. In addition, everyone has a right to see what data is held about them by an organisation such as Google or Apple and to have that data corrected or deleted if incorrect. So that's a brief definition or explanation of what Data Protection Act is. I'm going to ask you guys this week to do your own research on the Data Protection Act. There's a link on Show My Homework to a YouTube video from Craig and Dave that's a bit monotonous and dull and boring, but it's actually got good information in it. There's an article on BBC Bitesize, as always, just stay on page 4. The other ones don't really relate to it. And then there's 2 links to Wikipedia. One called Data Protection, one for the GDPR Act. GDPR is generally a much more strict version of the Data Protection Act. It requires much more robust protection of your data. Having worked for a company that had to deal with this a few years ago before I became a teacher, it was quite difficult to get signed off as GDPR protected. It wasn't easy. You had to, basically everything had to be bulletproof and a bit more, but that's another story. So your activity, please, is to make a poster in any way you see fit, or a presentation or a Word document, I don't really care, pen and paper, on your findings. So make some notes as you watch the video, listen to me, the BBC article, and look on the Wikipedia pages. Feel free to do your own research on other websites, maybe the Guardian newspaper, I don't know, whatever you feel is trustworthy, and then make a poster for it, please. As always, if you've got any questions, feel free to give me a bell. Not give me a bell, sorry. Drop me an email or send me a message on here, and good luck. Catch you guys next week.